Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the English Hub with Mr. Hudson. Today we have an important person when it comes to learning the English language. Um, she is so willing and passionate about her job. So today she happens to be here on my channel to share a few, knowledge or experiences she's had so far when it comes to teaching English, and also she has a beautiful project that aims at, changing the 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 normal way of learning English, in a fun way, So without much ado, I would like her to introduce herself, and she's gonna tell us, more about what she does. Hello, Miss Daniela.
Woo! Hello. Hello, Hudson. Hello, viewers. Thank you for being here. I'm really honored to be here and happy. I'm Daniela. I'm an English as a foreign language teacher and still learner, and that's it.
Okay, great. So today we're gonna look at two main important topics that are, what really made her become an English teacher, and also, she has this amazing project going on here in Villavicencio, and so those are the main two topics, we're gonna deal with today. So without much ado, I would like to ask you the first question. That is, you know, I'm an English teacher. I know you are an English teacher as well. So, the first question is, what made you, or what inspired you to become an EFL English teacher, or EFL teacher, sorry. Yeah.
Mm, well, I would say that it was the fate. When I was a child, I used to hate English. I didn't like it. Actually, my father, I would say that now, I would say that he invests on me. But at that time, I said my dad forced me to learn English because I didn't want to learn English because I didn't understand anything about it. So it was really hard for me. But then when I started studying, uh, I realized that it wasn't that difficult, and I realized that I could learn, that it wasn't impossible to do. So I started, I don't know, like falling in love. It was like haters to lovers story with the English language, because I realized that with this tool I could access to different experiences. So that's how I became an English teacher.
Okay,
I,
that's
I I wanted to share that experience with more
that.
people.
Sometimes when you hate something and you realize that you have a passion for that thing, it makes you love that thing the more. And then, so I think that is what, has developed your interest in, learning more, and then becoming a teacher, with such a drive, from having that hatred to loving that what you love to do now. So I think that's something positive. Yeah.
It
Okay.
is. It
So the next question I would like to ask is, uh, everybody who teaches, has a way, or has something that, pushes, or has something that drives the person to do what he or she does. Yeah. So the question is, what is your teaching philosophy?
I would say that it's be the teacher that you would want your child version to have, because as I said, I used to hate it. And the first English course that in which my dad enrolled me, it didn't have something such a HIT program. It was like the same program for everyone. So it was really hard for me because I didn't like it, and the methodology and the teachers weren't focused on HIT. So it was really hard for me. So that's what I always take into account before giving a lesson. Like, uh, pay attention to the motivations, the interest of that specific person, and try to engage, to try to change their mindset towards English, as I did.
Oh, okay. I think that's a good way of standing by what you believe and making sure you have a major impact on your students. So yeah, that's one of the best of philosophies any teacher can develop when it comes to changing the mindset of students to become who they really want to be. So yeah, congratulations on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so we move on to the next question. How much do you want to know about your students in order to be most helpful to them? Because sometimes you have to develop a lot of passion when it comes to teaching. Yeah. So if that passion is not there, it becomes harder, to be able to impact on your students. Yeah. So how much do you want to know before you can make sure um, you can be of help to your students? How much do you want to know before that?
Well, if we talk about how much, and I have to give you a number or a quantity,
Yeah.
I would say a lot, a lot, everything, if it was possible, because as I said, you have to take into account a lot of aspects in order to make a good impact, in order to really help them. Not just give the topic, the grammar, the lesson, and that's it. I won't see you no more in my life.
Oh my
because when you're teaching, you're building relationships with those people, because you're interacting with them. And something that it's really curious about English is that you have to talk about yourself when you're learning English, because English is just a tool to communicate. So every lesson, and in every lesson you're going to learn more, not only about English, but also about the teacher and the student.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I I want to know a lot about my students.
Yeah, that's really important, because there has to be a good chemistry between students and teacher, or teacher students chemistry. Yeah. So once there is a good chemistry between these two entities, there's gonna be something productive. Yeah. The end result is gonna be something that is gonna be beautiful. So knowing your students and knowing how you can help them is really important. Yeah. So yeah. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Everybody in this world have or has a projection or something that he wants to look up to, or where he or she wants to achieve or get to in life. Yeah. So what do you want to achieve, or where you want to get to in life, depends on the foundation you build today. Yeah. So, talking about, where you want to go and what you want to achieve, I would like to know, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years when it comes to teaching English?
That's a job interview question, Hudson.
Oh.
Are you going to hire me?
Oh,
I think it's kind of hard to I don't know how to spread this. Well, to be confident about where you are going to be in 5 years. But I would like to be, I don't know if it's okay if I say, a kind of icon in intercultural exchange because that's what you achieve when you learn languages, not only English. I would like to learn more languages if it's possible, and try to be a kind of an icon to share my experience and to help people to get into that, to get into the intercultural exchange, because that's what you achieve when you learn a foreign language.
Oh my God, I'm really surprised with your response. Because any field that you find yourself, you would like to be, or you like to leave something positive behind, in case somebody wants to emulate your steps, or emulate the kind of things you've built within that field. Yeah. So being an icon within the field of teaching English, I think it's one of the best answers I've heard so far, because as a teacher, you are not only teaching, you are also an icon to so many of your students. So
yeah,
being an
a
icon,
positive one. I hope so.
So I think we all want our students to emulate our steps. Yeah. So I think one day when you come back to this video, let's say in a couple of years, you might be smiling and saying, yeah, yeah. So I hope and pray, whatever you are aiming to be would come true. Yeah.
Thank you, Hatsuta.
All right. The next one is gonna be focused on your passion and your zeal of teaching and everything. How do you augment or increase the passion and zeal of a student who has no form of motivation to learn? So sometimes you look at a student and you go like, I wish I could have some supernatural powers to help these students, but then you don't know how you're gonna motivate or increase the confidence level of this student to learn. So if you've ever thought about that, or if you've ever experienced such thing in your classroom, how were you able to do that?
Well, it had happened to me before, and I have worked in schools and I have worked in institutes, and sometimes I can see myself in that kind of students, because their parents force them to study English and they have zero motivation. So what I usually try to do is take advantage of the situation, but in a good way. English, we know that English, it's not an art that needs to be mastered and perfect. English is a tool. So you can do a lot of things with the English. If what that person really wants to learn is, I don't know, biology, you can use English to get to know more about what they really are interested in. So that's what I usually do. So this question is related with the previous one. So because when you get to know the student through the time, session by session, you are able to notice like what are their real interests and the real motivation. And that's when you can use the English as a tool in order to connect them with what they really want, in case they don't want to learn English. That it's really hard. So for example, with kids that are like the ones that the most of the times are the parents who are, you have to learn English, and they force them to learn English. I use a lot of competitive games, board games, competitions, videos. Let's do TikToks in English. And they don't feel like they're learning English. They feel that we are recording a TikTok.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like hitting on them. Like it seems like we're doing this, but we are doing another thing. But that's how I try to increase their passion. And they don't notice that they are learning. So another thing that I usually do is that my kids have been complaining about that I record them. I take pictures and I record it. Teacher, you are upset with recordings. Why do you have to record everything? And I always tell them, I'm going to show you this video later, and you're going to notice that you improved. No, teacher, don't do that. So that's a really good way, because sometimes you don't notice that you're learning and that you're improving. And when someone else shows you, it's like, oh my God, I have grown. I have improved. I'm better than before.
Or yeah. Because everybody looks, if for example, if you have a picture of you when you were a child and a picture of you now, when you do the comparison, you can see a vast difference, between those two pictures. And it's gonna either motivate you to do, let's say, exercise, or to, eat healthy, or to do something that is gonna improve you either physically or mentally. Yeah. So I think, memories are good things when it comes to, looking at something that is,
And you know what, Hudson? There's a thing that sometimes we are too busy comparing ourselves with the other people that we don't know that we don't have time to notice that the person that we are right now is not the same person that we were when we start. So when you take the time and you see, wow, I have changed in a positive or negative way, but I have changed. So that would be like a nice suggestion. Like, stop comparing yourself with other people and start comparing yourself with your past version.
Yeah. So. Okay, excellent. All right, moving on. The next question is, we all have good days and bad days. We all have beautiful days, rainy days, sunshine.
So poetic.
Yeah. So when it comes to teaching, every teacher will tell you that he or she has encountered so many, good days and bad days when it comes to teaching. So the question is, can you describe your worst day in class? You go like, I know, I don't want to remember this anymore.
Well, yes, I have an anecdote.
Okay.
I was studying. I mean, I didn't have too much experience at that time, but I think that I always have been passionate. Like, I always try to look for the best way to do something. And I had a group of kids in a school. They were elementary school kids. And I was trying to teach them how to say the time in English, like both ways. And at the beginning, I thought that they understood. And I said, okay, so let's start with the activity, with the practice part. And they start, teacher, question. Everyone were asking again. And it was like, okay, let's explain again. And I explained again, and they didn't understood anything. And the activity and the time, and the other teachers were like looking at me, and the teachers and the kids were frustrated. I was frustrated. Everyone were frustrated in that classroom. So I started sweating. I was stressed. So I said, you know what? Close your notebook. And the teachers and the students were like, what? Yes, close your notebooks. I'm going to explain this again the next class, because I don't have mind, I was really stressed because I thought that they already have that information clear in their minds, but they didn't. So everything was a mess that day, and I felt really bad. I questioned myself. I'm a really I'm going to be a good teacher. What I'm doing here, I I felt like the worst person that day because
Mhm.
I thought that it was my fault that the students were sad, were frustrated because I wasn't able to explain them in a better way.
Mm,
So yes, that day was uh, a disaster. It was
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, okay, that is not a good way, to ensure that your students have a good memory of you. Anyway,
No,
it happens.
um, it happens to you like you're trying to explain the same topic over and over and over, and I, it's like I don't know, but it's really hard that
Yeah,
part.
yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm gonna ask you the last question when it comes to your experience about teaching. Um, I know you're passionate about what you do. You love your kids, especially when it comes to teaching kids. Um, so the last question about your experience when it comes to teaching is what do you like best about teaching? What drives you when you are teaching?
What do I like? What's my favorite part of being?
Of being a teacher? Yeah.
Well, okay. I would say it's not only with kids, also with adults that have had a trauma towards English. And the best part it's when they realize that they are able to do something new in the English language.
Mm-hmm.
So that they feel really grateful, that they are, I can't believe that I know that I understand. And especially when a student have struggled a lot before being able to do something, and at the end they are like, yes, victory, I did it. So that's my favorite part. And I think that um the tiring days, the frustration, everything, it's worth it when you see them that they are happy, that they are grateful, that they are um achieving their goals. So that's my favorite part.
Oh, great, great. All right. So, moving on, we're gonna move on to the next big topic. I know you are so passionate about talking about this. So the next one is we're gonna talk about a project that you are or you have started, you know, to leave or to make a major impact in the lives of many people who are in Villavicencio or and then maybe in the future Colombia at large. Who knows? Uh,
Latin America.
yes, that's the bigger the bigger picture when it comes to your project. Um, we all have aspirations or ways of living good memories behind when it comes to teaching. I chose to interview people all across Colombia, you know, to ensure that anybody who chances upon any of my videos will have um, some sort of knowledge when it comes to learning the English language. So I started to interview people all across, and then you came up with this brilliant idea, talk to learn, you know. So once you're talking, you're learning. Once you allow somebody to hear you speak, the person is also learning. Once you are talking, it brings out the best in you, and then you go like, yeah, I think I have one of the brilliant ideas when it comes to talking about topics. And then people pay attention to you, and then they go like, man, I like what you're saying. I think I have to talk and learn. Yeah,
Hudson, I love that.
yeah.
I need to post you explaining the idea. I think that was really interesting. I liked it.
So, what is taught to learn, if I may ask?
Of course, you may. Okay, Tag to Learn, it's a bilingual community. Okay, a bilingual community of people who are interested in practicing what they already know
Mhm.
in real time to get to know more people, but through different experiences, like real content, something that you do in your daily basis, like go to have a coffee with friends, but in English, go to play board games in English. So the idea is to offer to anyone the opportunity to practice their English, to make mistakes, because when you make mistakes, it's the only way to improve.
Exactly.
Right? So that's the reason we call it Talk to Learn. Only if, okay, we know that the speaking skill, it's the most difficult to develop because we are afraid of making mistakes. But if you don't make mistake, you're not going to develop that skill. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we have been doing. We have met a lot of people who are interested in participating in proposing new ideas. So that's Talk to Learn, a bilingual community where you can find a secure place where you can make mistakes and practice and improve your English.
Yeah, there is a saying that says, mistake makes you perfect. So even though nobody can achieve perfection, but then you can achieve some level of perfection. So
I would say that mistakes in practice makes progress because perfection,
yeah,
nobody's perfect.
yeah, exactly. So when it comes to perfection, it's really difficult to be perfect in something, but then you can make some sort of progress, that can take you to that level of perfection that you so desire. Yeah. So yeah.
I,
Okay.
I, I always tell them, to members of the community, I'm not perfect. My English is not perfect. I know that I've made mistakes, a lot of mistakes. But again, English is a tool. Just use it. Use it and try to use it the best you can. So my English is not perfect, sadly.
Yeah, we are all humans. It is, in English we have a phrase that says to err is human. Yeah, to err is human. So once we are humans, we are bound to make mistakes, and that is normal of any normal human being. So, you know, um, once you have that in mind, you can develop some sort of strength in making sure that you don't repeat those mistakes. When
Mhm.
they're when they are bound to come. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Next question is, what are you aiming to achieve with such a project? When everybody starts a project, they have aims and ambitions and objectives, where they want to get to with such a project. So what is yours when it comes to um, what do you want to achieve with Talk to Learn?
Okay. I have been working on the main objective, and Colombia, it's not an English-friendly country. I have visited several web pages where people ask, do I have to speak Spanish if I visit Colombia? Uh, is Colombia an English-friendly country? And the answer is no, we are not. Colombian people don't speak English. So what's the idea with the project? To make our country an English-friendly country, because that is going to give us a voice. People is going to take us into account. It's going to give us opportunity. Okay, it's not like saying, no, my project is that in a year everyone is going to speak English, because that's not possible. But at least everyone is going to find activities, bilingual activities. Everyone is going to find spaces where you can practice your English, where you can share with people. And for you as a foreigners, I don't know how was your experience at the beginning when you came to Colombia, you wanted something. So for you as a foreigners, the idea is to make it also a nice experience from the beginning. Like that you're able to communicate from the beginning, and that if you go out and you, I don't know, are lost, you want to ask for a direction, someone can help you with that, or you know where to go in order to find what you want. So that's what we are doing with Tag to Learn, to create a bilingual culture, that it's normal, that it's accessible, that everyone speak English.
Great, great. All right. Okay. So we're moving on. The next question has to do with your project, your much anticipated project that everybody who is an English learner has to be aware, of this project, because you have to get acquaintances in so many things in order to get to somewhere. In the Spanish you guys say palancas. In English is acquaintances. So
Okay.
if you want to get to somewhere, you have to know somebody that knows somebody. So for example, I wanted to interview you, but then I know you through somebody, and now we have been able to, or we are gonna be able to achieve something, that is gonna be beneficial to anybody that chance upon watching this awesome video. So talking about your project, if someone is watching us right now and the person would like to know more about Tag to Learn, yes, how can the person be able to have the needed connections in order to be able to be part of this awesome project and gain all its benefits? How is that possible for anybody like that?
Okay, right now we are building our web page, but it's not available yet.
Awesome.
But you can find us on Instagram as tagtolearn.call. I already changed my name, Tag to Learn Call. In there you're going to find the information about all of our events, all of our projects. We can communicate, you can propose your ideas. Also, there's a WhatsApp group where we'll always sharing tips, articles, apps, and also information about the events that are going to be really useful for you if you are learning this beautiful language.
Great.
So sorry, I forgot to tell you. The domain is going to be tagtolearn.co. Tagtolearn.co.
Okay, excellent. That's beautiful. It means you have good projections when it comes to the whole idea about Tag to Learn. So if I may repeat what you said, one of the ways where you can reach out and be part of this awesome project is through Instagram or through WhatsApp? Are you gonna get Facebook accounts as well?
Yes, we are also building that the Facebook fan page, so you can also find us as Tag to Learn Call.
Excellent, excellent.
Anyway, we can add the link in this video at the end, the description for the
So
ones who are interested.
yeah, sure, sure, most definitely, yeah. Um, so moving on, I would like to ask, you know, everybody that starts something, definitely there's something behind. There's a force behind that pushes the person that, yeah, even though today I am down, I want to do this. Mostly I know you do most of your projects on Saturdays. Yeah. And then here in Villavicencio, it might be raining and all that, because this is a this is a place where, it rains at any time. It doesn't say, hey, today I'm gonna rain, so it rains at any
If it's sunny, we say it's going to rain.
yeah. So, there are so many factors that, um, pushes you, and then sometimes it doesn't drive you to do things that you want. Yeah. So the question I would like to ask is, even though sometimes when you are doing something, you want to get something, quote unquote, at the end. Yeah. But then something has to push you, something has to drive you to do that. Yeah. So the question is, I know you started this project not quite long ago, but then I know and I feel that there is something that is driving you to do this. So the question is, what drives you to keep pushing such an incredible project? What drives you, or what is driving you?
Hudson, being honest, sometimes I feel that it's the project, the one who keeps me motivated in order to do something else. So, for example, I started this project with a friend, but there was a point that she told me, I don't feel motivated to continue, but I'm sure you can do it by yourself. And it was like, I don't want to do it alone, but I want to continue with this because it it I don't it makes me happy. I feel that I'm doing something for not only for me, for more people. And I don't want to stop. Sometimes at the beginning it was really hard, and I always remember the first coffee talk that we have. I was super nervous because I didn't know if the people were going to go. So the meeting was at 6, and I was alone alone until 6:30, because we are Colombians and we always arrive late. And the people start to arrive around 6:30, and I was like, okay. Then I start like getting ready, trying to improve the experience, trying to engage the people. Like, hey, it's not always about Saturday's event. It's also about practicing every day, communicating every day, engage with the people and make them feel part of this project. It's not only about me. I think that that's what keeps pushing me, that it's a community. It's not Daniela Cabrera. So I feel that I'm the leader, and that there are more people involved in this. So I feel that if I stop, or if I say, it's raining, I'm going to sleep today, it's not for me. Well, it's all for me, but it's a community. So that I think that that's what keeps pushing me.
Okay, great. I think, whatever you do, it has to come from here. Yeah. So once you do it from your heart, um, irrespective of the obstacles or circumstances that might come your way, you know, because you're doing it from here, people are gonna feel that energy, yeah, and then go like, yeah, I think she's doing something that she loves, and she's doing something that is really from her heart. And I think we have to push that agenda. We have to be supportive of what she is doing. And I think, you know, as it is always said, you know, your energy can never be lied on. you know so once you are projecting good energy out there, people are going to notice and say, yeah, I like your energy. I feel
But
like coming to talk to you every day.
but Hudson, okay, that's true, and I do agree, and yes, but that sounded a bit romantic, because well, we're trying to build this community. We're trying to do something different. I think Villavicencio deserves that. Because everyone is also judging. Like, there's nothing to do here. Villavicencio, it's a town. Things like that. Okay, but that's exactly what gives us the opportunity to do something about it. Like, so also because of that, and also because through this project, I have met a lot of people and I have learned a lot. So I love learning, and through the project, I'm learning. So that's something that when I feel down, I'm like, okay, let's do something that light me up again. So let's work on the project.
Yeah,
So that's also what kept pushing me.
excellent, excellent. I So far I've loved talking to you. We've had an amazing interview and all that. But then the last question I would like to put across is, nowadays, when you want to disseminate whatever information or agenda or vision or objective that you have to ensure that something keeps running, you have to do so many things, yeah, to disseminate your information, to make sure your visions and whatever projects that you have in mind is being channeled across all walks of life. Yeah. So, what are some of the things that you do, in order for people, or in order to disseminate talk to learn to so many people, for them to be aware of such a beautiful project?
Okay. Well, I think that being confident about it, even though at the beginning I wasn't sure what I was doing,
Mhm.
but I tried to be confident. We're going to do something. We don't know what. So trying to be confident and trying always to share the idea with everyone. Like, hey, I want to do this. What do you think? And being willing to accept the other people's perspective, being willing to change. Not, no, my idea, I have this idea and this is what I'm going to do. Yes, but maybe it's not what the people need. So being willing to listen, to change, to talk with the other people, to ask for opinions. That's the best way to make the other people part of it, not only you. So if we feel that we are part of something, we want to be there, and we're going to invite more people. So that's the way we have been doing it so far.
Okay, great, great. All right. Last but not the least, Um, as an as an English teacher, what are some of the tips or the clues you can give out to anybody who chance upon this video in order to improve or to learn English? What can you say about that?
Make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Uh, because we are too worried about what the other people think. Like,
Mhm.
so write that letter, uh, record that video, watch yourself. Don't be ashamed because you are in a process. We are always in a process.
Mhm.
So uh, make mistakes. That's the best one. And also try to connect the language learning with something else that you really care, that you really want to know. So
Mhm.
in that way, you can enjoy this process.
Yeah,
Don't get stressed. So make mistakes, enjoy the process, and connect the languages with your passions. Those
excellent.
are the mistakes.
Okay, okay. Lastly, what is your personal mantra?
uh, that we don't know if we're going to be alive next day. So let's let's do it. I mean, try if you want to do something and it's not hurting the other people, try it. So I would say that's what I've been doing lately. Like, okay, I have the time. We only have 24 hours. We don't know if we are going to have more. So let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Great, great. All right, Miss Daniela, I would like to thank you and thank you very much for being a part of this project. Um, we, I thank you on my behalf um, for dedicating the most precious time, to talk about, your experiences about teaching and talk to learn. And I hope, the future is always bright when it comes to whatever ideas and visions you have with regards to talk to learn and moreover as an English teacher. Thank you and thank you very much.
Hudson, thank to you because I'm so happy to be here to have the opportunity to share this idea, to invite more people to join us. And and I think that your project is also amazing because of that. Uh, because these kind of interactions, these kinds of ideas is what we need, you know? So I also would like to congratulate you for this project, and I'm really honored to be here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.